right, let's get right into it. If you've ever used an AI coding agent, you know that feeling, right? That moment of pure frustration when it spits out code that's just completely wrong. Well, today we're going to talk about a brand new open source tool from Andrew Ng's team at DeepLearning.AI that's built to fix this for good. It's called Context Hub, and it's tackling a headache that, honestly, has become way too common for developers.
So what's the deal? I mean, where does it all fall apart? We've got these super smart AI agents, right? One minute, they're writing this amazing, complex code, and you're thinking, wow! And the next, they just totally faceplant on something that should be simple, leaving you to clean up the mess. It turns out, there's this one fundamental, kind of hidden flaw at the heart of it all.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. You ask an agent to do something, and it just confidently makes up a parameter that was retired like 6 months ago. It's so sure of itself. It's basically like talking to a genius who memorized every single textbook from a few years back, but has been living under a rock ever since. And that is the core frustration we're all feeling.
You know, there's actually a name for this whole thing. It's called agent drift. And it all comes down to this one simple fact. Large language models are pretty much frozen in time. The second their training is done, that's it. Their knowledge is sealed. So while the rest of the tech world is moving at light speed, with new updates every single day, the poor agent is stuck in the past, working with yesterday's news.
Okay, so here's a perfect real-world example. An agent digging into its old training data might try to use OpenAI's old chat completions API. But as you probably know, everyone's moved on to the newer, much better Responses API. And what's the result? You get broken code, you waste a ton of tokens, and worst of all, you end up spending an hour debugging a stupid problem that never should have happened in the first place.
All right, so enough with the problem. How do we actually fix this? Well, that's exactly where Context Hub enters the picture. Think of it like a lifeline, designed to pull these super powerful agents out of the past and yank them right into the here and now.
And look, this is not just some random project somebody threw together over a weekend. We're talking about the team at DeepLearning.AI, led by the one and only Andrew Ng. I mean, that name alone should tell you that this is a serious, deeply considered solution to a very, very real problem.
So its mission? It's crystal clear. It's all about bridging that gap between the agent's static, frozen-in-time knowledge and the fast-paced, always-changing reality of modern APIs. It's basically giving the agent a direct hotline to the most current, most accurate info exactly when it needs it.
Okay, so how does it actually give the agent this direct line to the truth? Well, the secret is a really simple and elegant command line tool. It's designed to connect the agent to what we call ground truth. And ground truth is just a fancy way of saying the one single verifiable correct source of information for how a tool is supposed to work today, right now.
So say hello to Chub. At its heart, Chub is this lightweight command line interface, and it plugs right into a special registry. Now, don't just think of this as boring old documentation. It's more like a curated library of knowledge. It's always up to date, it's versioned, and crucially, it's been specifically formatted so that a language model can understand it perfectly.
And the way the agent uses it, it's just beautifully simple. It's a three-step dance. Step 1, the agent runs Chub's search to find the exact API or skill it needs. Step 2, it uses Chub Get to pull down that clean, curated, LLM-friendly documentation. And Step 3, armed with the right info, it just builds the code successfully. No more guessing, no more hallucinating.
Now here's a really smart feature, something that I think is a game changer. It's all about precision and not wasting tokens. The agent can ask for documentation specifically for, say, Python or JavaScript. And why does that matter? Well, it cuts down on all the extra noise. The agent gets only the dense, relevant context it needs, which makes the whole process faster, way cheaper on your API calls, and just a lot more efficient.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting. Context Hub is way more than just a fancy search tool for documentation. It actually introduces two huge game-changing ideas for AI agents: long-term memory and, get this, collaborative learning.
I mean, just think about this for a second. What happens right now when your agent stumbles upon some clever little workaround for a really weird bug? Nothing, right? That knowledge just vanishes the second the session ends. And the next time it runs into that same problem, it has to learn the exact same lesson all over again. It's so inefficient.
This is where the annotate command becomes your agent's best friend. Let's use the Stripe webhook example.
The agent figures out, hey, for webhook verification, I need the raw body, not the parsed JSON. Instead of forgetting that, it can run this one simple command and save that crucial note right there, attached to the Stripe API documentation on its local machine.
And here's the magic. That note is now saved forever. It's officially part of a persistent long-term memory. So the next time that agent or, hey, any other agent running on that same machine needs to use the Stripe API, that critical little note will pop right up. It literally never has to solve the same problem twice. That's huge.
But okay, let's take this one step bigger. The annotations, they stay on your local machine. But what if agents could share what they learn with everyone? Well, they can. Using the chub feedback command, an agent can send its findings back to the central registry, helping to improve that ground truth for the entire community.
So an agent can upvote documentation that works well, or it can flag something with the label like, hey, this is outdated, or these code examples are wrong. All of this feedback flows right back to the people maintaining the documentation. It creates this amazing network effect. The more agents that use the system, the smarter and more reliable the documentation gets for everybody. It's a system that actually learns and evolves just as fast as the tech it's describing.
All right, let's zoom out for a second and think about the big picture. Why does something like this really matter? Because this isn't just about making our lives a little easier. This points to a really fundamental shift in how we're all going to be building software with AI in the future. So, let's just quickly recap the key takeaways here. First, it solves agent drift dead in its tracks by providing a solid, command-line-driven ground truth. On top of that, it creates a persistent memory so our agents can actually learn. Then it enables a kind of collaborative intelligence so they can learn from each other. And it does all this with that language-specific precision we talked about, which keeps everything super efficient.
When you put it all together, what Context Hub is really creating is one single, unified, and self-improving source of truth. The bottom line is, it's a foundational layer of pure reliability that all of our future AI coding agents can stand on. It's about making sure they are always working with the best, most current information possible.
And that really leaves us with a pretty mind-blowing question to think about, doesn't it? What kind of incredible, complex, truly amazing things are we going to be able to build when our AI assistants not only learn from their mistakes, but never, ever make the same mistake twice?